The camera isn't rolling. That's important. What happens in the next 47 seconds will never appear in any official footage, never make it to any behind-the-scenes documentary, never be acknowledged by Warner Brothers or any production company. But 18 crew members will witness it, and none of them will ever forget. It's March 1973. Golden Harvest Studios, Kowloon, Hong Kong. Stage 4, the largest soundstage in the facility, converted into the underground fighting tournament set for Enter the Dragon. Artificial stone walls, torch lighting, elevated platforms for cameras. The set smells like sawdust, sweat, and the ozone scent of film lights that have been running for 6 hours straight. Bruce Lee stands near the center of the floor, barefoot, wearing black training pants and no shirt. His body is exactly what the camera loves, defined without being bulky, functional muscle rather than decorative mass. He's 32 years old, 5'7", 135 pounds. By Hollywood standards, he's small. By fighting standards, he's a problem. Around him, 6 stuntmen form a loose semicircle. These aren't extras. These aren't actors learning choreography for the first time. These are professional Hong Kong stunt performers, men who have worked on dozens of martial arts films, men who actually know how to fight, who trained in traditional schools, who carry certifications and lineages and years of experience. Their combined weight exceeds 800 pounds. Their combined height reaches nearly 40 feet. On paper, this shouldn't even be a conversation. The confrontation started 20 minutes ago during a break in filming. Bruce was demonstrating a combination he wanted for the tournament fight scene. One of the stuntmen, a man named Wong, interrupted, said the technique was too fast, too complicated, wouldn't read well on camera. Bruce explained the technique again, showed it slower. Wong shook his head, said Bruce was showing off, said real fight choreography should be simpler, more traditional, more like the old Shaw Brothers films. Bruce stopped, looked at Wong, asked a simple question. Have you ever been in a real fight? Wong's face changed. He stepped forward, said he'd been training since he was 6 years old. Said he'd fought in underground tournaments before becoming a stuntman. Said Bruce might be famous now, but fame doesn't make you a fighter. It makes you an actor. The other 5 stuntmen moved closer, not threatening yet, but showing support, showing solidarity. They'd been talking among themselves for days, talking about how Bruce was difficult to work with, how he demanded perfection, how he criticized their technique, how he acted like he was better than professionals who'd been doing this for decades. They were tired of it, tired of being corrected by someone they saw as just another actor with good publicity. The assistant director tried to intervene, suggested everyone take a break, cool down, come back fresh, but Bruce raised his hand, said it was fine, said this conversation needed to happen. Then he said something that changed the temperature of the entire room. You think I'm just an actor? You think the choreography I'm showing you is movie technique, not real fighting? Fine, I'll prove it's real. All 6 of you right now. No choreography, no cameras, just sparring. You try to hit me any technique you want for 2 minutes. If you can land 1 clean strike, I'll apologize to each of you personally, and we'll do all the choreography your way for the rest of the film. The room went silent. 18 crew members stopped what they were doing. The director's assistant reached for the phone to call security. The cinematographer muttered something in Cantonese about insurance liability. Wong looked at the other 5 stuntmen. They nodded. 6 against 1, 2 minutes. This wasn't a fair fight. It was a beating. They'd go easy. Wouldn't try to actually hurt him. Just land a few touches to prove the point, to show Bruce that respect goes both ways. Bruce walked to the center of the mat, rolled his shoulders once, bounced slightly on the balls of his feet. His face was calm, not angry, not afraid, just present, like he was about to demonstrate a form, not fight 6 professionals. One of the crew members, an older gaffer who'd worked on films since the 1950s, leaned toward the lighting director and whispered, "I've seen a lot of stupid things on film sets. This is the stupidest." The lighting director whispered back, "You want to bet money? On who? On how long it lasts?" 2 minutes. That's the agreed time. "I'll bet you 50 Hong Kong dollars it doesn't last 1 minute." Wong moved first. He was the one who started this, so he'd finish it. Came in with a traditional Wing Chun chain punch, 3 fast strikes, aimed at Bruce's center line. Good technique. Fast hands. The kind of attack that requires specific training to defend against. Bruce wasn't there. He'd shifted 30 degrees to the left, offline from the attack vector. Wong's punches hit air. Before he could reset, Bruce's legs snapped out in a side kick that caught Wong just below the ribcage. Not full power, but enough. Wong's breath left in a rush. He stumbled backward, hit the wall, slid down to a sitting position. 4 seconds. The second stuntman, larger than Wong, more of a grappler, tried to close the distance. Rushed forward with arms extended, trying to clinch, trying to use his 80-pound weight advantage to control Bruce. Basic wrestling logic. If the striker is faster, take away the distance, make it about strength. Bruce dropped his level, shot under the reaching arms, came up inside the stuntman's guard, an elbow to the solar plexus, too quick to block, too close to avoid. The stuntman's eyes went wide. His body locked up. Bruce stepped aside, and the man fell forward onto his hands and knees, trying to remember how breathing works. 11 seconds. The other 4 came together. They'd seen enough. This wasn't going to be about technique anymore. This was going to be about overwhelming him with numbers. They spread out, attacked from 3 angles simultaneously. Bruce moved like water. That's the only way the crew members could describe it later. Like water flowing around rocks. One stuntman threw a high roundhouse kick. Bruce ducked under it, swept the standing leg. The stuntman crashed to the mat. Another came in with a straight punch. Bruce parried it with his left hand, while his right fist shot forward into the stuntman's midsection. The man folded. The remaining 2 hesitated, just for a second, just long enough to realize that nothing they learned in training had prepared them for this. Speed was one thing, power was one thing, but this was something else. This was complete control. This was fighting several steps ahead, reading their intentions before they fully formed, moving to intercept attacks that hadn't been thrown yet. They came together anyway. Pride doesn't let you quit in front of witnesses. The first one threw a combination, jab cross hook, fast, well executed. Bruce slipped all 3, countered with a back fist that caught the stuntman on the temple. Not hard enough to knock him out, but hard enough that his legs stopped working properly. He sat down heavily. The last stuntman was the biggest, 6'2", 230 pounds, 20 years of judo training. He'd been watching, analyzing, looking for patterns. He thought he saw an opening, came in low, shooting for a double-leg takedown. If he could get Bruce to the ground, the weight advantage would matter. Bruce sprawled, posted on the man's head with his left hand, brought his right knee up into the man's face. As he drove forward, the stuntman's nose crunched. Blood appeared instantly. He released, staggered backward, hands going to his face. Bruce stood in the center of the mat, breathing slightly elevated but controlled. 6 stuntmen on the ground around him in various states of recovery. The clock on the wall showed 47 seconds had passed. Nobody moved. The crew members stood frozen, cameras forgotten, lights ignored, call sheets scattered on the floor. They just watched something that shouldn't have been possible. 6 trained fighters against 1 man, and it hadn't even been close. The assistant director finally found his voice. Jesus Christ. Someone get ice, and someone call the medic. Bruce walked over to Wong, who was still sitting against the wall holding his ribs, extended his hand. Wong looked at it for a long moment, pride and pain fighting in his expression. Finally, he took the hand. Bruce helped him up. "I didn't mean to disrespect your training," Bruce said quietly. Just to Wong, though several crew members were close enough to hear. "You're right that you've been doing this since you were 6. You have skill, real skill. But skill in forms isn't the same as skill in fighting. Forms teach you patterns. Fighting is about breaking patterns. What I'm showing you in the choreography isn't movie technique. It's what actually works when someone is really trying to hurt you." Wong nodded slowly. His ribs were going to hurt for a week. His pride was going to hurt longer, but something in his understanding had shifted. Bruce addressed all 6 of them, his voice carrying across the silent soundstage. "I don't correct your technique because I think I'm better than you. I correct it because I've tested everything, in real fights, against real opponents. Nothing I show you is theory. It's all proven. If I show you something and you don't understand why, ask me. Challenge the technique. But don't assume it's wrong just because it's different from what you learned." He paused, looked each of them in the eye, "And understand this. I'm not here to make another kung fu movie like the old ones. I'm here to change what people think is possible, to show them that martial arts isn't dance, isn't demonstration, isn't performance. It's truth. It's what really works. And I need you to help me show them that truth. But I can't do it if you're fighting me instead of fighting with me." The biggest stuntman, the judo practitioner with the broken nose, raised his hand slightly, the knee strike. "How did you know I was shooting low?" "Your eyes," Bruce said. "They dropped for a fraction of a second before you moved. Your body telegraphed the level change. If you shoot without looking, without that tell, it's much harder to counter." "Show me," Bruce demonstrated, explained the mechanics, showed how to hide the tell, how to commit without telegraphing, how to make the technique actually effective. The other stuntmen gathered around, watching, asking questions. The hostility had evaporated, replaced by curiosity. For the next 30 minutes, Bruce taught, not choreography, fighting, real technique, the principles behind the movements, why certain angles work and others don't, how to generate power from short distance, how to read an opponent's intentions from their posture and breathing. The stuntmen absorbed it like students who'd finally found a teacher who could explain what all their previous teachers had only demonstrated. When they finally returned to filming, the choreography was different. Not simpler, more realistic, faster, more dangerous looking. The stuntmen understood now what Bruce was trying to achieve, and they helped him achieve it. Enter the Dragon was released 5 months later. Critics called the fight choreography revolutionary. Audiences had never seen anything like it. The film grossed over $200 million worldwide and changed action cinema forever. Every martial arts movie that came after had to measure itself against what Bruce created on that soundstage. But for the 6 stuntmen, the real education happened in 47 seconds, on a day when the cameras weren't rolling. They came to that set as professionals with pride and experience. They left as students who'd learned that mastery isn't about years of training. It's about testing everything you know against reality and being willing to discard what doesn't work. Wong worked on 4 more films with Bruce, became one of his most trusted choreography partners. At Bruce's funeral 2 years later, Wong was one of the pallbearers. He told a reporter, "Bruce didn't just teach me how to fight, he taught me how to learn. He taught me that being wrong is the first step to being right." The footage of that 47-second sparring session never appeared in any official capacity, but the crew members who witnessed it told the story. It spread through Hong Kong's film industry, then to Taiwan, then to the West. Details changed with each telling, got exaggerated, became legend, but everyone who was actually there knew the truth. It wasn't about Bruce proving he was the best fighter. It was about Bruce proving that what he was teaching was real, that his techniques worked, not because they looked good on camera, but because they worked when someone was actually trying to hit you. That he wasn't just an actor playing a fighter. He was a fighter who happened to be on film. That distinction mattered. It's why Enter the Dragon feels different from every martial arts movie that came before it. It's why the fights look real in a way that choreographed sequences usually don't. Because they were built on principles that had been tested in 47 seconds of reality. The lighting director paid the gaffer $50 that evening, said it was the easiest bet he'd ever won. The gaffer asked how he knew it wouldn't last a minute. The lighting director said, "I worked on the big boss. I saw what Bruce did to the Thai fighters during the warehouse scene. Saw him move. Saw how the experienced fighters reacted to him. Like they'd seen something they didn't have a word. That's when I knew. Whatever Bruce Lee is, he's not what we think he is. What is he then? I don't know, but I know I'd bet on him against anyone." That sentiment spread beyond the film set, beyond Hong Kong, beyond cinema. It became part of Bruce Lee's legend, that if you challenged him, if you tested him, he wouldn't just win. He'd teach you something, and you'd walk away different than you arrived. 47 seconds changed 6 careers, changed one film, changed an industry, and proved that the difference between demonstration and reality is measured not in years of training, but in moments of truth.